If you love Disney, you'll like this video. Hi there and welcome to another Mickey's Roundtable Adventure where we explore everything Disney, one themed adventure at a time. For this adventure, I headed under the sea. Well, not really. I headed to Walt Disney World here in Florida and had myself a Little Mermaid adventure. I checked out attractions, meet and greets, resort hotels, restaurants, and the new Little Mermaid, a musical adventure show at Hollywood Studios. You're not going to want to miss this exciting episode. I started my adventure doing a little resort hopping, headed to the Art of Animation Resort. It is a budget resort right next to Pop Century. Originally, I guess it was supposed to be part of Pop Century, and then 9/11 happened, and they ended up retheming it and redoing it to animation. And it's a neat resort. It's a very neat resort. And each area of the resort is themed to a different animated film or franchise. They've got Cars, they've got Finding Nemo, The Lion King, and they also have The Little Mermaid. In the Little Mermaid area, there are 3 buildings, and out in front of each building is a larger-than-life statue of main characters from The Little Mermaid, Ariel herself, and King Triton, and the evil sea witch Ursula. There's also a statue of Sebastian. They've got dingle-hoppers and snarfblats, and then a life-size statue, larger-than-life-size statue of Prince Eric, like Ariel finds at the bottom of the sea when she falls in love with him. It's kind of odd because the snarfblats and the dingle-hoppers are like really larger than life. They're huge. And then the Prince Eric statue, although it's larger than a real guy would be, it's probably what a real statue would be like. Anyway, the sizing and the scale doesn't seem to quite fit, especially compared to the characters, because the characters are ginormous. It's really kind of cool. While they're at the Art of Animation Resort, I decided I would get something to eat. There is a food court, and like the resort, the different areas of the food court are themed to the same movies and franchises that the different areas of the resort are themed, including The Little Mermaid. It's nothing super fancy. You're not eating in Prince Eric's banquet hall or King Triton's, dining room or anything like that. There's artwork depicting scenes from The Little Mermaid on the walls and on the ceiling. Wasn't too bad. Good way to start the day. Just a quick Skyliner ride away is also the Caribbean Beach Resort. They have a restaurant themed to The Little Mermaid as well. It's called Sebastian's. It is a sit-down restaurant. I've only been inside the building once. Had some snacks there for I won an award when I worked there way long time ago. Never ate there. I had a meal there. I hear it's quite good, but if you want some Little Mermaid themed dining, that's not a bad place to go from what I hear. Didn't do that on this adventure. Also at the Caribbean Beach Resort, there are Little Mermaid themed rooms. They were previously themed to Pirates of the Caribbean. They're in the Trinidad section of the resort. I was just passing through Caribbean Beach on the way over to Hollywood Studios, and for as good as Disney transportation can be, like all complicated things and mechanical things, things do break down once in a while, and so they were having a problem with the Skyliner, and the line was backed up a little bit. You stood in line and you waited, and then they just said, "Hey, follow us." And we followed. I followed a bunch of other guests, and they took us down to buses. So they were set up, they were organized, they had it all down, but they didn't communicate anything to anybody about what was going on. Once I got to Hollywood Studios, I headed over to the animation courtyard. You come in, there's the Chinese theater with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway straight in front of you. If you go to the right, you'll see the Star Wars launch bay and the theater that hosts the show. It was originally a host to a show called Here Come the Muppets, and then in 1992, It became home to Voyage of the Little Mermaid. That show ended when COVID hit and they shut down the parks. So March of 2020, that show ended, and this is the replacement show for it. Same theme of the Little Mermaid. I like the old title and the old sign and everything better. Did I like the show better? I don't know, because I don't remember the old show other than I've been in there. I know that I've seen it. But judging the new show based on just do I like the new show or not, it's not bad. I give it 5 out of 10 sea cucumbers or starfish or whatever I want to use there. No, it's okay. It's the Little Mermaid, so tough to not like. The music from the Little Mermaid, the film, is all fantastic. So any adaptation that features that is going to all feature that same fantastic music. For me, a theatrical production should be theatrical and not a movie. They use screens quite a bit in this new production, and it makes for some really cool effects. Ariel swims across the stage, and you can't tell how she's being supported or anything like that. There's a couple of different puppets for Flounder and Sebastian, and you don't see the puppeteers at all. There's a transition where they go from a computer animated Ursula to a real life Ursula. I think it's a puppet. But there is computer animation, and it seemed too screen heavy for me, which, I didn't remember the theater being as small as it is. It's kind of a small theater. It's an okay show, air conditioned. I was going to talk about the show at the end of the video, kind of tease it, and then not get to it till the end, but it wasn't great. There you can watch, there's a lot of other videos online that show the whole thing, and if you haven't seen it, I'd check it out. Judge for yourself. But for me, it's like maybe one and done. Maybe I'll see it sometime in the future, but who knows. I'd rather go see Muppet Vision 3D, but that's the much better live action and movie combined show. And of course, that's the one they're getting rid of. Anyway, I digress. From there, I decided to continue my Little Mermaid adventure and head on over to Magic Kingdom. Upon arriving at Magic Kingdom, I headed straight to Fantasyland in the first of 2 Little Mermaid attractions. That's right, there's 2. Well, the first one isn't really Little Mermaid themed, but the Little Mermaid is featured in it. If you head over to Mickey's PhilharMagic, the storyline for that 3D film, if I want to see a film, that's the better film to see. The storyline of that 3D film is that Donald Duck takes Mickey's Sorcerer's Apprentice hat, and he ends up going into different Disney movies, Disney animated movies, including The Little Mermaid.
I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing.
It's a fun little show. I've never seen a Mickey's PhilharMagic show that full of people. It was quite hot outside, so I think the air conditioning had something to do with that. It was getting close to 3 o'clock, and that means the 3 o'clock parade. The Festival of Fantasy Parade was going to be happening soon, and I wanted to catch that as well because among the various floats in that parade is a float featuring the Little Mermaid herself, Ariel, and so I caught a bit of that. I didn't wait for the end of the parade. I've seen it before, but for the sake of the video, I did want to catch Ariel up on that float there. From the parade, I headed back into Fantasyland for the other Little Mermaid themed attraction, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. And it is a whole Little Mermaid themed area, part of what was called New Fantasyland. It used to be the site of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. See, back in the day, even when they got rid of attractions that were popular, that were classic, that people liked, when they rethemed them, they actually rethemed them to the same theme as the area they were in. So at Fantasyland, they still have Fantasyland stuff there. It's a fun little ride. It's a dark ride. instead of doom buggies like the Haunted Mansion, similar ride system, but you are in a clamshell and you voyage through the story of the Little Mermaid. One of the coolest effects, I think, on this particular attraction, anyway, your clamshell will turn so you can look at different things and they direct your attention, and you turn and the clamshell goes back like this, and there's an effect where it feels like you're going underwater with lighting effects, and I think there's a temperature change in the air, so it feels like it's getting colder, and you go down and you go under the sea, and that I think is really cool for that attraction. And yeah, it retells the story of the Little Mermaid. The ride, of course, is a retelling of the story, an adaptation of the 1989 Walt Disney animated classic, The Little Mermaid, kicked off the Disney Renaissance. There have been many different adaptations and sequels and prequels. There was a direct-to-video sequel, a prequel, and there is the live-action adaptation that they just recently did over at Hollywood Studios in the Walt Disney Presents building right next to the Little Mermaid Theater where that show is. There is a meet and greet for Ariel from the live action adaptation because of timing and because I wanted to meet Ariel at Magic Kingdom, the Ariel from the animated film. I skipped the live action Little Mermaid meet and greet, and I headed on into the meet and greet for Ariel from the animated film. It is confusing just on a marketing standpoint. They have different Ariels that... Anyway, to conclude my day, I went in and met with Ariel herself, the Little Mermaid, in person. I love doing meet and greets, and I love... I kind of have a little collection going. And when I sat down with Ariel there, she was asking me about collecting, but I didn't mention the fact that I kind of collect meet and greets. I've got photos from all the different characters that I've met, and I've met Ariel before at that location, and it's a fun one. But let me just real quick before I go here, gentlemen, act like gentlemen. Be respectful when you are doing a meet and greet, especially if it is a Disney princess. So the couple that went in before me, girlfriend, wife, whoever she was, she sat down and they took some photos, and then her companion, boyfriend, husband, whoever he was, he goes and he sits down next to her, and they're going to get a picture with the three of them, and he goes and he puts his arm around her. It's like, no, that's, yeah, I don't know if she was uncomfortable or not. I kind of detected a little bit of that in her look, but yeah, don't do that. Personally, and they'll do this, you know, they say, can I take your arm? And you put your arm out and they put their arm through yours. Be respectful and of their space and the whole thing. And I'm guessing she was comfortable with me because she put her arm on my shoulder instead of putting it through the arm. But yeah, anyway. All right, I just wanted to kind of throw that out at the end there because that was something that happened during the meet and greet. And anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. Call it a day, call it a video. I hope you liked it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, this has been another Mickey's Roundtable Adventure. We'll see you real soon.